Thanks. Okay, I think we can kick it off. First of all, welcome to our DLL panel, Richard. Thanks so much for joining us today. I'm super happy that you found a little time to talk to us about all things GPT-3. And first of all, like you work at such a powerful organization with a very powerful brand and a lot of know-how when it comes to funding the projects, especially at the seed stage. I know that you are managing the community at Pear VC, so you are especially working with others that are the very early stages of their journey as founders of startups, as product builders. Can you tell us a little bit more about that, about what you're doing within Pear VC, and yeah, what's your focus there?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, Sandra, thank you very much for inviting me to this discussion and to such a great community. I have seen all the exchanges on Discord, and yeah, what a powerful way to bring all the enthusiasts of GPT-3 and AI machine learning together. So thank you for doing all of this. To answer your question a little bit about what I do at Pear VC, I am the chief of staff to one of the general partners, and also the director of accelerator for the summer. And basically, we have a highly selective accelerator that incubates and accelerates cherry-picked startups in a variety of different fields, including natural language processing, cryptocurrency, AI, machine learning, oncology, and etc. And we provide this sort of 17-week, 20-week runway for people to focus on company building. And we said, don't worry about the money. We'll take care of, we'll give you some money to get started, because you may be pre-revenue, pre-product, but we believe in you as founders, and we believe that you'll succeed, and we provide the space, the event, and the platform for you to grow your idea, so that by the end of the program, you'll be able to fundraise with the top VCs around the world. So what I do is I make sure that companies stay on track. If there are issues that company encounter, whether it be company growing or founders disagreement or tech issue, I make sure I'm the person to communicate that with the right party. And we're very focused on technical founders and hackers, such as the ones that are in your great community. So again, it's a great pleasure to be here.
Awesome. So tonight I'm particularly focused on the question of how to turn your GPT-3 ideas into reality, and the VC component is super is crucial also when building products. What would be like your #1 advice for founders that are making their first steps towards kicking off something bigger to serve others, using GPT-3 as a backbone?
Yeah, that's a great question, Sandra. I think founders who are looking at particular tools, powerful tools like GPT-3, and are trying to use it as their backbone, they should first and foremost ask themselves the question of whether this is the appropriate tool for the kind of problem that they are looking to solve. And that gets to sort of a meta question before even this question gets asked, and that is, what is the problem that you're trying to solve, right? And I think each problem merits a different solution, and GPT-3 is a really powerful tool, but it's not the silver bullet to everything, right? So I would, assess sort of the problem. So I like to say that GPT-3 is a very powerful hammer. The question is whether you are looking for the right nail, right? And if you start with GPT-3 and you're looking for the right problem to solve, and you're kind of like holding a hammer, looking for the right nail to hit, and that's fine. You just have to find the right nail, right? A more natural / organic way is that you have a problem that you're passionate about that you want to solve, and then you're looking for tools, and then it happens that GPT-3 is the right tool for the problem that you would like to solve, right? So yeah, try to make sure that this is the right GPT-3 is what you need to tackle the problem that at hand. So I would say that's the first thing, strictly related to GPT-3. I think the other dimension from a VC perspective is whether the problem that you're solving can be solved only by you, namely that other people won't be able to copycat it, right? And I think given GPT-3 can be, is basically an open access. I've seen, in the channel that many folks have, obtained access to the model. You got to think beyond, just having access to the tool, because if you can do it, there's a chance that other people might be able to do it. So to the extent that you can identify a strategy that builds a moat around your business, beyond just GPT-3, because a lot of people can have access to it, I think that's what really would make yourself stand out when you pitch to VCs.
Awesome. Thank you so much for these insights. So when it comes to fundraising, a lot of first-time founders that it is their first experience in fundraising for a bigger project. Their main concern is how to get the funding and how to talk to investors, how to gain their interest. What would you recommend as like the very basic first steps in order to have a successful fundraiser for your project?
Yeah, we can go on for hours on this, but I think the first and foremost thing you should know, you should take note of, is whether you are ready to fundraise, right? If you just have an idea and it's pre-product, pre-revenue, you haven't gained any tractions, and you're asking for, I don't know, $2 million, or I don't know, however much for a pre-seed amount, then it's hard, unless you have a track record of, say, making successful exits on your startup. It's a bit hard asking for money without any traction, without a record, and it can affect your ability. Say you have an unsuccessful round of fundraising, it can affect your ability to fundraise in the future, because VCs have seen the work that you did, and they don't think they're ready, and they're less likely to take a second meeting. So know when the right point is to fundraise. Knowing when the right point is to fundraise is critical. The second is that when it comes to fundraising, it's important to know that VC. So I've seen a lot of fundraising pitches that focus less so on the business and more so on the technical side, and I think for me that's a big mistake, because VCs in their background, as much as their VCs, they're special, their VCs say we focus on, I don't know, AI, machine learning, we focus on GPT-3, as much as they like to paint themselves with a special say focus or vertical on particular with special verticals and focuses. They're constantly thinking about, okay, how much money can I get? It doesn't matter whether they're GPT-3 focused or AI focused or crypto focused. What's on their mind is how much money you're making, how much benefits you're bringing to your customers, and how much money that I as a VC am making. So focus on the finance part, focus on the business discussion. I think that's a lot of times what VCs like to see. And there are many other things that I can go on for hours, but I'll pause there.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So another connected question here I have is that let's put ourselves in the shoes of somebody that's like very new to the VC game, let's call it that way, and they have an amazing idea for a product that will serve a lot of people. They do not necessarily though have the sort of connections to the particular VC funds that are valuable options for them. Looking at the situation from perspective of such a person, how to start gaining these connections, how to start successfully networking from that point?
Yeah, great question. So first of all, don't start networking when you are about to fundraise. Network a year before you are about to fundraise, or even longer, right? The goal is to establish connections with the VC so that they can observe your work throughout the years, right? If someone comes to me and asks me for $1 million, it's kind of hard for me to make that unless it's an extremely convincing pitch. It's really hard for me to say yes or no because I don't know the person well enough, right? Instead, if I have followed this guy's work or this gal's work for the past year, I'll be able to make better judgments. I've seen where he or she was, and where he or she is. It's much better to make that judgment call. So what I would recommend, if you don't know any VCs to begin with, is don't worry. So first of all, ask for warm intros. So look through your friends, and chances are that if you're in the hackers community, if you're in the entrepreneurship community, that someone has talked to a VC from before. So make sure that you establish that warm connection through someone that you know. And second of all, when you approach VCs, there's a saying that ask for money when you're looking for advice, and ask for advice when you're looking for money. Don't approach the first meeting as a fundraising call. Approach the first meeting as an advice seeking call. So I'm Richard. I am building this NLP language-based startup, and I would really appreciate your perspective on what I'm doing so far, and see if you have any advice for me. I got referred to you by someone, blah blah blah, right? And I think approaching it as a advice seeking call is a lot less. It's a lot more organic. I would put it that way. So that's number two. Number three is come to networking events. I think those of you who are in the channel and who are actively speaking with your peers, I think you're doing the right thing. So come to networking events. Go on LinkedIn and a cold outreach to people. You'll be surprised how much responsive people can get on LinkedIn these days. So yeah, those will be my top three advice.
That's amazing. Thank you. Absolutely. I can say from my own experience that it's really heartwarming how often people are connecting with you and are happy to talk to you and help you out when you're just kind of reaching out to them out of the blue. So do that. Definitely. I'm like +1 to this one. Definitely. Thanks. So guys, do you have any questions for Richard? If so, please let me know in the chat, Twitch chat. And meanwhile, I have a question for you. So there's so many VCs out there and so many types of VCs, and like it's also about kind of finding the right one for you, I think, when you're looking for funding for a project.
Absolutely.
So how do you go about it? How do you start strategizing around that?
Yeah, that's a great question. There are a lot of bad VCs out there, let me put it that way, that are disrespectful to founders, that take advantage of founders, and they're just not nice people. So it's important to get references, right? When you talk to, like, it's important. That's why it's important to do your research, a year before you are ready to fundraise. because then you'll be able to filter out the bad ones from the bad ones from the good ones, right? You don't just look for any guy or any gal that carries a wallet that has money, because guess what? Money is a commodity when you fundraise, right? Like my $1 million is the same as someone else's $1 million. You're really looking for VCs that can that can give you advice, that has the right network, that really care about people. At Pear, we are known for having very high touch points with founders, either through the accelerator program or just through our day-to-day work. We work with founders very, very closely. We go out of our way to help them recruit engineers, to help them fundraise, to help them do business development. So look, make sure that you find VCs that care. Let's put it that way. Secondly, different VCs have different specialties. So make sure that, if you're looking to build GPT-3 or AI machine learning, natural language processing startups, look for those that have a deep tech DNA in there. If someone else if people are building, retail brand that doesn't have a track record, look at their portfolio company to see if they have a track record of deep tech, of language modeling and stuff like that. And the third thing is, I would say, don't just look for Sequoia and A16Z and the top VCs. There are pros and cons of taking money from top VCs versus the sort of the mid-tier VCs, and we can get into more details about that. So, but perform some strategy there as well. Yeah.
Awesome. I don't see any questions from the audience, so I guess we can leave it at that. Thank you so much once again for joining us and for all your words of advice and wisdom. And let's keep in touch.
Please, and if you want to chat, feel free to find me on LinkedIn and mention that you are in this event, and I'll probably respond faster.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Richard. Take care.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.